What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, Terence Crawford continues to release photos of him clearly bulking up, which gets the fans and the people to speculate. Undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning WBO welterweight world champion, who is widely considered by many to be the #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in Terence Bud Crawford. Terence Crawford is 38 wins, no losses, no draw, 29 big wins by way of knockout, 34 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach, right? Terence Crawford is seemingly preparing for the biggest fight of his career against undefeated, unified WBC, WBA, IBF welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be the #2, if not #1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in ERROL the True Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. is 28 wins, no losses, no draw, 22 big wins by way of knockout, 32 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. With that said, Errol Spence has a very grueling, aggressive, physical style, and Terence Crawford is viewed as the smaller guy. This is the biggest fight in the sport of boxing, okay? And it's for undisputed. It's the biggest fight in the welterweight division for undisputed since September 16th of 1981, when we had two legends and iconic Hall of Fame superstars in Sugar Ray Leonard and Thomas the Hitman Hearns fought for undisputed. It's the biggest fight since then, okay? And so now we have this fight on the verge of happening. Obviously, everybody knows there's some roadblocks and things that's, are preventing the fight from being announced. But it's the biggest fight in boxing. Now, what's interesting is Terence Crawford, he also stated that he was preparing for a move to junior middleweight, okay? He says, when asked about it in the interview, about fighting 3-time junior middleweight world champion, who currently is the undisputed junior middleweight world champion, superstar boxer, Jamel Lions Only Charlo, who is 35 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 19 wins by way of knockout. He is 32 years of age, 6 feet tall with a 73.5-inch arm reach. Terence Crawford, he reiterated, "I'm very serious about moving up to junior middleweight. I'm not joking," right? When asked about what's the possibilities and how interested is he in moving up, he said, "It's not a thought. It's not just a figment of my imagination. It's gonna happen." So he says, "Once I beat Errol Spence, I'm moving up and I'm fighting, and I'm gonna become a 4-division world champion, right? I'm gonna fight and beat Jamel Charlo and whoever else got the belts up there. I'm gonna fight and beat them, and I'm gonna become a 4-division world champion. And I'm looking to be a 3-division undisputed world champion." So clearly, he says that he's ready to move up, right? And in another interview he did, when he was talking with 2-division world champion Puerto Rican superstar boxer Danny Swift Garcia, Terence Crawford, he asked Danny Garcia, "Is Danny Garcia moving up to 154?" In which Danny Garcia says, "Yeah, my next fight, I'm done with welterweight. I'm moving up to 154. And that was met with Terence Crawford saying, yeah, I want to move up there now too. Okay, I'm ready to move up to 154 too." Which is interesting because Terence Crawford, like I said, started 130, 135 champion, 140 champion, 147. So he started in a lower weight class. He has a wiry, thin frame, right? But clearly he's growing into the division and he's bulking up. And so when he stated that to Danny Garcia, it was shocking, right? Because he stated that he's now just getting acclimated to 147, the welterweight. Well, now he's saying that, he's ready to move up to 154. And what's most interesting about this all is that Errol Spence has been uttering the same sentiments, okay? Errol Spence has been saying that he got one fight at 147, and that's the fight with Terence Crawford, right? And Terence Crawford now is saying the same thing. Errol Spence, once upon a time, said, I'm I'm a grown man trying to weigh 147 pounds. That's not natural, right? And when Danny Garcia just fought and made his debut at 154, Errol Spence, he responded by saying, yeah, I don't believe that you didn't enjoy that extra weight, right? So he and he laughed, right? So he was telling Danny Garcia that extra weight felt good, didn't it? So that's a clear, indication that he's ready to move up. But I think both of them are wanting to create history. So this is a clear interest. This is a clear signal and message by Terence Crawford letting you know, I'm ready to move up. I got one fight at 147 left too, and that's Errol Spence, right? So it's just we know Errol Spence is one division champion. He's fought his entire career at welterweight, right? And he's considered a very, very big welterweight. You even had Danny Garcia say, well, Errol Spence is a natural middleweight. I was hitting him with everything I had, and this dude wasn't even budging because he's naturally a middleweight, right? It's like I was hitting a middleweight. You have a lot of people that say that, utter those same sentiments. But when you see Errol Spence next to Jermell Charlo, who's a close friend of his, and they train with the same trainer, and two-time trainer of the year, well-renowned trainer, future Hall of Famer, and Derrick James. They both train with Derrick James, and there's a picture of Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo next to each other, and you can clearly see a size difference. Clearly. Now, that's not to say Errol Spence is not, a big or a natural 54-pounder, or maybe Jermell Charlo is just big for 154. You know what I mean? But you can clearly see there's a size difference between Jermell Charlo and Errol Spence. Now, obviously, Jermell Charlo is taller, but he looks, just more bulky than Errol Spence. Okay. But nonetheless, Errol Spence said, he's tired of attempting to make 147. In the past, Errol Spence, now he's never had issues on the scale. Errol Spence never missed weight on the scale. But, we know Errol Spence, like he stated, he had, issues with ballooning up in weight. He was having weight loss camps. Now he's hired a nutritionist, so, he's keeping that, under wraps. And he's training, he's been training since he fought Ugas April 16th, right? The unification. So clearly, Errol Spence is way more committed to the sport of boxing than he's ever been in the past. You know what I mean? But like I said, it's just very, very ironic to see and hear Terence Crawford say that, that he is, moving up in weight, right? Saying that, the weight is just simply, too much for him as well, right? And he's ready to, go up in weight. And clearly you can see the pictures, of Terence Crawford, and he's clearly very, very big. Now obviously Terence Crawford is training, he's working out, but he's not in training camp. Once he enters training camp, he's going to definitely be visibly more smaller than he currently is right now. But right now, he looks every bit of a middleweight right now. He looks every bit of 154, 160. You know what I mean? But obviously, he's coming down, so he'd probably walk around at about 160, 155, 160, because he's always in shape. He always stays in shape. So, he may not even be that big, but he's definitely bulking up. And it leads people to speculate he's bulking up to deal with, the physical nature and the aggressive style that of Errol Spence. You know what I mean? Well, he has to. If he's going to prepare for Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo, he's going to have to bulk up. And it's clear, it's abundantly clear he's definitely doing that. But again, for him to move up to welterweight, and he's fought Jeff Horn, Jose Benavidez Jr., he fought Amir Khan, Igor Kavalauskas, Kell Brook, then Sean Paul.